Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So now that we know all about the Marvel Phase 3 films and we know Thor 3 is going to be picking up right after Avengers 2, I wanted to do a video just explaining what that storyline is from the comics and how they might do it in the film universe. There are a few details like the main cast and timeline related stuff that they have confirmed. So let's start with what we know. And just real quick, hello to any new people. If you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get everything. I do Marvel videos every week, so feel free to leave me requests. So, starting off with the timeline, Thor will pick up directly after the final moments of Avengers 2, even though Ant-Man is going to be the next movie, and then Captain America 3 after that. But think of the plot of Captain America 3 and Thor 3 happening at about the same time. It makes sense. Civil War tears Earth apart, while Ragnarok tears the Nine Realms apart. So now let's talk about the cast. We do know that most of the people from the first two Thor films will be back. Anthony Hopkins, notwithstanding, we don't really know if he's coming back. Tom Hiddleston, of course, totally going to be back, will be headlining the movie. He'd have to be. Loki's been masquerading as Odin since the end of Dark World. Idris Elba even spoiled one of the post-credit scenes from Avengers 2 recently just by saying he and Tom Hiddleston were in the movie. He is totally going to get a nasty email from both Joss Whedon and Kevin Feige, but he gets paid a ton of money, so he can take it. For those asking though, there's going to be multiple end credit scenes during Avengers 2. Captain America Winter Soldier had 2 of them. I think Avengers will have up to 2 or 3. They'll just be things that help lay the groundwork for all the craziness that's going to be Phase 3. So that's also where the subtitle Ragnarok comes in. So now let's talk a little bit about the story arc. In a way, it's going to define what Phase 3 is going to be all about. Complete chaos in the Marvel Universe, with the promise that everything will rise again stronger than ever. In Norse mythology, Ragnarok is an end of days epic battle. Most, if not all the gods end up dying. The world is submerged in water, then re-emerges new and fertile. So it's like Marvel taking the chessboard, wiping the slate clean, then flipping it over to start a new game. Here's where we get to the comic books. So as part of the Avengers Disassembled storyline, they had this Thor Disassembled storyline. That's kind of where Ragnarok happens. There was a whole lot of stuff going on during Avengers Disassembled, but essentially it created a new Avengers team, which is what Age of Ultron is supposed to do. Like, we're supposed to see an alternate roster by the end of the movie. Since they're adapting a story from the comics, we know a little bit about who the villains are going to be and what the arc is going to be. They always change a lot of things from the comics to the movies. They always simplify a lot, but just general blanket spoiler warning for the Ragnarok storyline from the comics. So starting off, Ragnarok. Only way for Thor to evolve as a character was to die and be reborn is something better. All about the cycle of death and rebirth. It's a really trippy idea that the Marvel Universe hasn't dealt with directly. Like, we haven't dealt with the afterlife. Since death is a big character during Infinity War, obviously they have to do it at some point. It doesn't mean that Thor is going to have to die during the movie. It just means they're going to have to deal with the idea of the afterlife. The comic book storyline starts off with Loki being jealous of Thor. Pretty normal thing. As a reward for being so awesome and being his favorite son, Odin gives Thor his hammer. Loki, jealous, wants a weapon that's just as powerful, so he searches for the mold that made Thor's hammer. Run-ins and fights ensue. Loki develops a team around himself of a bunch of evil people from Asgard. Thor rallies a bunch of heroes, and then they basically do battle. Whole lot of people end up dying. During all that, Loki releases Firelord Surtur in exchange for power. But the whole arc is just all about learning what it really means to be king of Asgard, and like the mythological Ragnarok, Asgard is destroyed, then rebuilt stronger than ever. The Surtur character himself, I think, is going to be the big villain. He actually has really interesting past with Odin in the comics. His big weapons are this massive sword that he calls the Twilight Blade and the Eternal Flame. I know every once in a while we get to see flashbacks in the Thor movies. We might get to see a young Odin. That'd actually be pretty cool. At one point, he and his 2 brothers fought Surtur. They won, but Surtur was able to kill his brothers. Over the years though, Surtur has appeared in a number of comic book storylines. Like, he was in Fear itself and a lot of the places, but usually he gets trapped somewhere. Either it's the center of the earth or it's in limbo. Usually he escapes because he makes some sort of bargain with Loki, Asgard in exchange for power. The really awesome thing about the movie, as it relates to the comic, is that the cast of characters are all people from the other Thor movies that we haven't seen a lot of yet. Sif has a huge part, even Beta Ray Bill is involved. I know a lot of you asked me if I think he's going to be in the movie. I mean, they did Rocket Raccoon and Groot, so they could do Beta Ray Bill, and he would be really awesome in a future Guardians movie, but I have no idea. One thing you guys might enjoy though is that because it's this big cosmic thing, there is no Natalie Portman. They'll explain why that's happening during Avengers 2. It's a pretty simple explanation, but just notice how she is nowhere to be found in this Avengers party scene. That just tells you a lot. So already you can see some of the differences between the comic book canon and the movie canon. They're going to have to go with what they've established in the movies already, so there are some things that'll change. First off, Loki's already king of Asgard, so he'll need another reason to release Surtur, who I do think is going to be the main villain of the film, but his release will probably result in the burning of the World Tree, or the Nine Realms, or however you want to think about it. We actually got to see all 9 of them on screen during Dark World when reality started to collapse. This one here is where Surtur and the Fire Giants are from. So you can see we go from Frost Giants in the first film, to Dark Elves, to Fire Giants in the third film. The second movie incorporated a whole bunch of different villains. Even though the Dark Elves were the main antagonists, I think the third movie will do the same thing. Like, the Fire Giants will be the villains, but they'll probably include some other people from the comic books. One really important thing that I don't think we're going to find out about for a while is what the villain is actually going to look like. In the comics, Surtur is like 1,000 feet tall, so if you saw Wrath of the Titans with Sam Worthington, you remember he had to kill the Titan Kronos? When we saw him on screen, he was so big, it was comically funny, and not in a comic book way. I mean, it was ridiculous. So yeah, I don't think Marvel is going to go that route. So moving on, Tom Hiddleston, just to address his future as a character in the Marvel Universe. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to think of Thor 3 as the closest thing to a Tom Hiddleston movie as we're going to get. Technically it's called Thor, he's the protagonist, but the movie is the closest we'll get to a Loki standalone movie. Just think of how crazy the Tumblr GIFs will be. So, jumping forward to Infinity War, this is going to be the big follow-up, because I think that Thanos is going to come to collect his debt from Loki at the end of Thor 3 or in the beginning of Infinity War. If you remember in the first Avengers film, he gave Loki the scepter, which we now know is confirmed to have the Mind Gem in it, so he'll have to come for that at some point. And then, also, Odin has the gauntlet in his vault, so he'll need that too. If Asgard's gonna burn during Thor 3, then Thanos might just wait to walk over the ashes, just wait till it's all over to come in. What I'm really hoping to see is that Loki is forced to work with the Avengers during the second film, during the second Infinity War film. Just think of it as like a temporary alliance. Thanos is going to assemble the gauntlet in the first film. The Avengers, along with the Guardians, it's a big crossover film, remember, are going to have to find a way to get it off his hand in the second film. There's a whole lot that could happen between then and now, so I'm sure a bunch of small details will change, cast members will change, but what I'm really looking forward to is a lot more Sif. I'm a big fan of Jamie Alexander. I feel like she's kind of gotten pushed to the side for Natalie Portman, and a lot more Tom Hiddleston. He's definitely one of the most fun things about the Marvel Universe, as long as he's used in moderation. With respect to Infinity War, I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. There are so many films coming before it, so I'm going to focus on those. But if there's any in particular that you want to talk about, just be sure to let me know in the comments. We will probably get another new trailer for Avengers 2 before the end of the year, just because, a bunch of big movies coming in December. Usually new trailers come every couple of months, so look forward to that. In the meantime though, if you haven't seen it for the 1,000th time, you can click here to watch the Age of Ultron trailer again, and you can click here to learn all about the other Phase 3 films. Thank you so much for watching, so let's all high five, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.